people become worshipers right away because we have this gene in us, this worship gene, which was inserted into the human genome. We know this now because scientists have actually found the worship gene. You can turn it on and they can turn it actually off.
What?
Yes, we have a worship gene.
Worship gene.
That's right. And so it makes us want to worship something outside of ourselves, when in true reality, we should find the power inside. And this was inserted by the Anunnaki. That's my opinion. That's my hypothesis, I should say, on this one. But this gene has been found, but it's happened around 200,000 years ago. Now, something else happened around that same time. Chromosome number 2 in the human body was pulled out, fused together, and then 2 telomere caps are put on each end. Telomere caps have our genetic material that allow our cells to replicate. It has the biological buffer material in it. But the big problem with this information is that it's detrimental to the system and the status quo. It literally would break down religious systems overnight. You're talking about a multi-trillion-dollar system that generates a lot of money for a lot of people, and those religious systems donate a lot of money to I call it polytricks.
Polytricks.
Yeah. And I'm talking about millions of dollars a year, right? And so all of a sudden that goes away. A religious system collapse globally would definitely affect the global economy almost overnight. But that will go away because people realize the information that they have been brought up learning is actually severely inaccurate, and that the information is based on plagiarized tablets, and the real stories are in the tablets. A full, unedited, undoctored human, when I'm going to change these words around here and there, that's not done in the tablets. The tablets, what it says. When you come to the Bible, all of a sudden you get to a lot of text like Jesus saying, honor your slave master as you would honor me. Do you think that just guy would really say something like that? If you look at some of the ancient texts, you'll discover that humans were living for thousands of years. Well, what happened? The Anunnaki, these Atlantean beings that came here in the distant past, they disconnected our DNA. That's what you have called now junk DNA. It's not junk, guys. It's unplugged DNA. Chromosome number 2 in the human body was taken out, fused together, and 2 telomere caps were put on each end. These telomere caps, they store buffer material. When your cells and DNA replicate, it allows information to not be lost in a transference because your body's consistently regenerating over and over again. But when the buffer material in these caps run out, that's when your body starts the death process. So we were capped. They put a cap on us. We've been genetically modified. People will realize we've been altered, genetically modified. Our lifespans have been shortened so that we can be subjugated and ruled over. Now, around 200,000 years ago is when the tablets say this occurred at the Tower of Babel incident, which made it into the modern day Bible. The Tower of Babel, Yahweh comes back and he sees the people building a tower into the heavens, and he gets pissed off and he destroys the tower. And he said, that's it. Man's years will be 120. They'll never live more than that. Before then, people were living for hundreds of years. Chromosome number 2 in the human body was pulled out, and then 2 telomere caps are put on each end that allow our cells to replicate. It has the biological buffer material in it. When the buffer material runs out, that's when your body starts the death process. Now, the maximum lifespan that they found out at Harvard that a human being could live on average would be 120 if it wasn't for the poison and everything else going on. And they started experimenting with mice, and they were able to stop the degradation of the telomeres and got the mice to live 3 times their normal lifespan. Virtually all religions either worship aliens or believe in aliens, and they don't even know it. And so when I talk about this, people seem to get really offended right away. They don't realize that they're worshiping aliens. I mean, it's admitted by them that they're worshiping aliens. They don't even want to admit it. So let's have a look at the definition of alien, right? A resident born in or belonging to another country. Well, we know that. An entity from outer space. Okay, interesting. An entity from outer space. Now that the definition is clear, let's take some look at what the religions on the planet say and what their origins are. Christianity, 2.1 billion people worship Jesus. Okay, and John said unto them, you are from beneath, I am from above. You are of this world, I am not of this world. Not from earth. You're worshiping an alien.